Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am doing an exclusive interview with the one and only my uncle, Larry. And so he is my uncle on my dad's side, but my aunt's husband. And we thought that it would be a great idea for us to do an interview about him, what he got going on, and what's about to happen. First, we're gonna get into the introduction of our relationship. We never had a close relationship, but we ain't never had no problem with each other. That's the good part. When did you meet my aunt? What?
December 17, 2000.
You remember the date?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that early. I thought it was like 02, 03.
Nah, it was 2000. The first day I moved here, your other cousin shared, and my sister, I moved in with them, and her and Lonnie came over there to visit me, helping me get a job.
And if y'all don't know which auntie I'm talking about, I believe she was on my Let's Have Brunch episode 4 or 5. I can't remember, but if y'all go back and look, it's right there. So let me ask you this currently, today, as we speaking, how are you mentally and physically?
She a bad shit crazy, but nah, for real. I'm fine, but getting ready to go and do a bone marrow transplant due to myelofibrosis, which is a blood disease similar, blood cancer. They're similar to leukemia, and it started out when I was in the service, active duty Navy, in '94. Actually, 2 weeks before I got ready to get out, did my blood work and stuff like that. Where your separation physical, I was getting ready to go into the Air Force. You know, stay at home for a month and transfer to the Air Force. So 2 weeks in, first wife, and baby girl packed up and getting ready to go. And they told me, they put me on medical hold, talking about, no, you can't go. You got essential thrombocythemia. Essential thrombocythemia is elevated platelet count. And it was so high to where they wanted to do, at that given point in time, they didn't have the technology they have now. But they just want to put me on blood thinners, and they told me September, well, I can't remember the exact date, but I know it was the third week of September that is either going to be heart attack, stroke, or cancer. And that was in '94. And I've been dealing with the aftermath of that ever since then. So now, in 2008, it turned into myelofibrosis, which is asymptomatic. Thank God for that.
Okay.
So it's asymptomatic, and that was ever since 2008. I've been dealing with that.
But the diagnosis of this, you ain't found that out until recently.
2008.
Okay, so I didn't know that. But before we get into that, because we gonna get into that, let's talk about your upbringing. Like, where you from? How was it? How was it growing up?
Okay. Born and raised in Greenville, Mississippi. And raised, I put it like this, father was in my life, had mother and stepmother, and a whole bunch of aunties, uncles, and cousins. So I'm more like a family person. And we were raised up like that because a lot of stuff, people going through now, been there, done that, some everything. So, I was just, a family-oriented person. And it helped me out in the long run, especially when I was in the military. And then, once I moved up here, so.
Okay. You feel like you had a good upbringing, like a good childhood?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm still here. I'm doing extremely, not extreme, but extremely well.
Okay.
So yeah, I had a pretty awesome upbringing. Like they say, you had the best of most worlds. I done had that country, city, overseas, foreign. I done had a lot of experience. So I'm thankful. I was raised awesome. Can't complain.
Okay. Now, would you say that you're happy about what all you've done in your career? And where did you start?
As far as my career, well, you know, your uncle, even before I came your uncle, and I was a your auntie boyfriend. Y'all know I kept how many jobs? 2, at least 3 jobs.
Yeah, you definitely had jobs.
And you know, that was my whole thing. You know, where you lay your head is where you pay and take care of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was just me. And I like, you know, in order for me to have some, I got to make sure I got some. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, if I'm going to pour into somebody else, I got to make sure I'm straight.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm straight, they're going to be straight because we pouring into the same cup. So it's a win-win situation. You know, and that's why, you know, me and your auntie, we started out as actual friends. You know, it was like, you know, your family basically adopted me. But coming to Memphis, it was like they were everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no like, you know, all this hustle mentality they got now. It was like everybody treated everybody like family. I was able to go places I didn't even know I wasn't even supposed to be. Everybody, don't go to Voodoo Village. I was there. P Valley, I was there. A lot of people don't know about none of that, except for the movies.
Yeah.
But I'm dead when it was there. So, you know, I got here, you know, and one thing I knew how to do, hey, if you invite me to your house, I'm gonna help do something, cook, clean, do something.
Yeah, you should.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't, you know, did it. It was like that Southern hospitality. You walk in folks' house, you speak to everybody, hey, how you doing, this, that, and other. And it was just like, like I say, Memphis is still part of the South. And like, then, go where you got to go. Everybody treat you with respect. You treat them with respect. And that was pretty much in a nutshell, yeah.
Okay. What made you want to get into the military?
Well, I didn't want to go to college. I'm just going to be honest with you. I didn't want to go to college.
It's not for everybody.
Nope, military ain't either. But I went in for the simple fact that, I don't know, it was 90 or 91. I scored in the top 3 percentile of the nation. And every branch wanted me. So
You was a good test taker.
oh yeah, I ain't blindfold
Something
back
I could
then.
never do.
Well,
Never
you
been
know,
good at tests.
I'm gonna tell you like this: the way they taught us back then, compared, unlike with you, you was somewhat, you know, raised same with me and your auntie was, but like, you know, with Tia and Trey and all them, that Common Core stuff, it has a lot of people confused. They want you to learn algebra before you learn how to add and subtract. That's stupid, and they call it critical thinking. And I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you have a basis. You start off with the basis, then work to where they can understand, to where they know that 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equal whatever. And saying that same thing as 2 times whatever the number is, you add it up that many times. They don't do it like that. It's just like, okay, you got to think, you got a box over here, and then you got squares, and you got circles, and you got rectangles, and such and such. And I'm like, y'all make a word problem seem like just like a distant planet or universe.
Yeah.
But you know, I scored high on the ASVAB. I did so well to where I had my, cause you know when you take the ASVAB and you want to join the military, you sign a contract about me being, I was like 16 then. So I signed the contract, which means my mom and my dad had to sign off, even though they were divorced. So I did it like that. They signed off. Then, like when you turn another age 17, they got to sign off again. But I turned 18, and that's what I did. When I turned 18, I was able to do it on my own. Didn't have to have nobody else sign off. But the problem was that I planned on getting married to my first wife with my oldest daughter. And, you know, because at that given point in time, she wasn't even thought about. Because when I signed mine, it was just me, and I'm gone, you know, and if she gonna hang, she gonna hang. But you end up, you know, hard-headed, you know, they don't want to listen. Got a baby on the way, and I'm like, okay, well, that changes everything. Well, you want to go for the ride, and I like, you know, and I just want to do the right thing. So married her, and you know, the rest is like they say, Time will tell a story, and the story helped me make. Now, the story I went through helped me be a better man than I am today.
So you telling me that when it was time for you to go to the military, you got a baby on the way?
Yeah, and it changed my whole contract because I got accepted into a real Top Gun school. Got accepted to it. Then, once you couldn't have no dependents going in. So, well, I got a child. She's, like a year? Oh, I don't think she was a year at the given point in time.
Okay.
Because I was already at the next due stage by the time she turned 2. So, I was like, okay.
Okay.
My recruiter said, well, we're going to have to change this. And they changed it, hooked it all up. Well, you're going to go ahead and do all 4 branches, 2 years apiece. How you want to do it? First thing I said, I don't want to go behind them lines. I don't like to get shot at because y'all ain't going to give me the equipment that I need to shoot back with. Mm-hmm. So, Navy, Air Force, then it was going to be Army, and then Marines, which connects back to the Navy. So I was like, okay, I can do that. That sounds like playing Sign My Life Away. 10 years off the wham. And after them, that 8 year, I pick out who I want, what branch I want to stay in. And when you smart, are you able to bring something to the table besides boost and actually bring ideas to the table? The government sit back and they look like, it seems like this person did this, that, and they gonna do good. And they just like, okay, we're gonna try to see what he got to offer. Are we gonna use and abuse him? That's all it was.
So you was in the military 10 years.
No, I signed up for 10 years off the wham. Got down to 2, and I think they let me do 2 years and 9 months because with the medical condition, they couldn't. Basically, I was active duty, but I had to stay in the States. I couldn't go do overseas and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because when I was in the Navy, I was doing temporary assignment of duty to this squadron, this aircraft carrier, that aircraft carrier, and I was doing it like that, and I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie, hey, I don't care what nobody say. Mm-hmm. But you gotta have a strong mind and a strong will because there's a lot of stuff. No matter where you go or where you with, you're gonna always have a hater somewhere, someplace.
Oh, absolutely. All the time.
And like I said, I'm grateful and I'm blessed to where the people I hung around with, we wasn't no negative people, you know what I'm saying? And what I loved about it, I was able to go to Little Creek, Oceana, Fort Eustis, Fort Monroe, Fort Lee, Langley, and we just going to different bases all over the world. And we were just like, hey, you ain't got duty this week. This weekend we catch a MAC flight, which is a military flight. Mm-hmm. Back then we didn't have to pay. I don't know how they do it now because when last time I did, it was like $5. And now it's just like you can't hardly get nobody to get on the MAC flight. So I'm going to use that to my advantage in a couple more months once I get through this bone marrow transplant.
Okay.
But, and just... it's so amazing, man. Ooh, boy. I be telling you Auntie about the stories and stuff that I've been through, and she don't believe, but then, I run to some of my old buddies, and we get to talk, she be like, can't believe y'all did that.
Yeah. Takes a lot of courage, too.
Yeah, man.
So.
And usually, we used to travel like 30 or more when I was in the service, because we were just like, we was in dry dock on a ship. USS Enterprise was in dry dock in Newport News, Virginia. We ain't doing nothing. We working, rehabbing the ship, making everything peaches and cream. The weekend came, hey, guess what? Some people had 3 days, some people had 2. And then, the commanding officers, they were so damn cool. They were like, yeah, well, okay, I tell you right this out. You come back, you don't use no leave or nothing like that. They hooked us up. And, they got the most production out of us. Like, you gonna do that? Man. And we didn't have no time to clock in and out. When we got there, we had to be there at a certain time. And we left, that time was up. But a lot of us, stayed over and did what we had to do. Because it was, right in I say 6 to 10 hour work shift.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you did like that, except if you had duty, it was 24 hours, one whole day. So, they worked it out.
Okay, we're gonna get back to the reason for the interview too. Now, you say you was diagnosed with the bone marrow. It's gonna be a transplant.
Mm-hmm.
You say you've been on it since 2008.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know this. I never.
Well, I just found the paperwork with diagnosis on there from West Cancer Center, and it says JAK2, whatever they call it, mutation. They found it when they did a bone marrow biopsy,
Okay.
and that was in 2008. And I couldn't understand because I had it, but like, you looking through all these papers and you got 8, 9 boxes, full of papers, and you
Yeah.
ain't gonna be able to go through all of them. You just scan. So I found the paper and it had, 2008 JAK2 mutant there, and asymptomatic, not this, not that. It didn't do what it's doing now, because like now basically it's like the platelets, red and white blood cells, are irregular shape. They say pear, tear, they say it's crazy shapes, irregular shapes cells. But it's only like a fraction of so many billions. It's like it's like one out of, it's just like, the way they said, I win the lottery 2 times before it actually get to that point. It gets to like, start being asymptomatic, but it has scarring. Like you say, inside my bone marrow, it's like scarring tissue inside my bone marrow. Now I'm like, okay, it's scarring tissue inside my bone marrow, but I got irregular shaped cells, which causing that. Then you get a large spleen, slightly enlarged spleen. And what made them throw the red flag was that my heart was slightly enlarged.
Oh.
No, it wasn't that much. It's only about a little bit, But
Okay.
by us being
'Cause I know you can die
melanated,
from
everything, everything is slightly larger,
Okay.
a lot, heavier. And they say, okay, you in parameters, so you still good. You ain't, I ain't got no side effects and stuff like that. I ain't started having no side effects. Lord have mercy, until like what, 2021.
Okay, because now that I'm thinking about it, years ago, I did hear a little something about your diagnosis. I ain't heard nothing before maybe COVID or something.
It was a year after COVID, because they were like, okay, you got a donor, when you want to do it? I said, soon possible. That donor bagged out. Now I had to get back on the list. They had to do another bone marrow biopsy to match me up with somebody else. That was what I did. I did one May of last year,
Okay.
August of last year, and I'm gonna have to do one in 2 or 3 more weeks anyway. Another one, and so it'll be like every 8 months, because of like they say, scarring of the bone and the irregular shaped cells and platelets. So now they like, okay, we're gonna do it every 8 months. I'm like, every 8 months you better find me enough donors so I don't have to go through that, because I went down there August of last year to basically see how the process go for the bone marrow transplant, and talk to other people going through the exact same thing I'm going through. Them, talk to them and their family, went to Nashville, and and they just told me, look, the hardest part is really the bone marrow biopsy. Everything else is like, hey, it's easy. You won't,
Okay.
even with the chemo, but I know everybody different. And the crazy part about it, what I love about the way the VA did it here in Nashville together, and Vanderbilt,
Okay.
they sit you down with not just blacks, whites, Hispanic, Indian, just different people, different nationality background, Asian, and they just sit you down and talk about what the complications they had, and even the donors. Because some of their donors are family members. My donor is just, a stranger.
Okay.
And they just sit down and talk to you and stuff like that. And they was like, everybody agreed the hardest part was the bone marrow biopsy after that. I'm like, well, the bone marrow biopsy ain't that bad. As long as I get some anesthetics to go with it, to where I don't feel all that pain,
Okay.
And, and a lot of them said they still do it in their hips. But it was 2 that did it in their chest, and they like, yeah, they had to put me to sleep, because, that breastplate, they call it right here, is that's sensitive.
Okay.
You know, because if you having a heart attack, a stroke, or unconscious, they gonna rub it and you gonna respond if you living. So I like, they're too sensitive. I already know about that. No, y'all gonna you got to keep hitting it dang hip, and I can't.
Yeah. When you first found out you had to do chemo, were you like, oh, okay, this is over for me? Like, this is gonna change my life, or like, what you when you first found out? How did you feel about it?
Well, they told me way in '94, so I just started doing research, and there wasn't enough out there at the end. But like now, just recently, past 2 years, started researching. You know, I was somewhat. I put it like this: '94, September '94. They tell you heart attack, stroke, cancer, right? And this was in 2021. Basically, like, okay, it's at that point, scarring tissue, your bone, and it's cancer. It's cancer, but it's asymptomatic, but it's cancer. That was 2021. Cause 2008, I ain't paid that no damn attention. I was too busy trying to get my, hey, I was about my hog and making my money.
Yeah.
House, cars. I want to buy a 7-carat diamond ring, 7-carat diamond every damn year. I was like that. I was about my hog killing money. I stacked my money up.
Health first.
Health was on the back on the back burner. I was like, man, look, I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling good.
You had no kid. Well, you had only 2 kids.
Oh, 2000. Yeah,
No,
I only had 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2008 I only had 2, and that was a tip of my quiz. I like, okay, this guy limit, you know, cause they give a point. I thought I ain't she gonna have no kids, but
yeah.
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, you at least expect it.
Yeah, shot up the club too many damn times. I like, shoot, boy.
What changes did you make is recently, about the diagnosis? Like, did you start eating differently? You started taking certain things?
I'm glad you asked that because they had been monitoring my situation ever since '94, and I didn't know that.
Okay.
Cause by you having
I'm glad they did.
But I didn't know nothing about it. But I signed off on it, you know. I ain't looking like Uncle Sam. I trust Uncle Sam. They talking about I got this. You a bunch of educated dummies. So I like whatever y'all say. So when I signed the paperwork now, my platelets were at the point to where they were, perfect, but they were just high. So like, okay, cancer patients can use your blood. We get the platelets from that and see how it works and stuff like that. So I was donating blood. Didn't know I wasn't supposed to be donating blood. They, when I did my CNP for the VA, they already had all my, where I was giving blood and stuff. Because I'm like, you go to, you ain't thinking about this. You think about being young and I was thinking about making money. I like, I'm gonna go on my own term. I'm down my own 2 feet. So I'm working and they basically, how should I say it? Monitored everything because I had to go to Keys Air Force Base for a study, blood work and study, and then what else? Back to Virginia, went to Little Rock. I'm like, okay, why I'm going all these, but they paid for it and I just went. But for like my health and stuff, since they monitored and stuff like that, I just started and then TikTok, YouTube. Okay, you take this, you take that. Yeah, I am going into the rabbit hole. There I go down the rabbit hole. But I have a good hematology oncologist here, Vanderbilt, and in Nashville, and they even got to the point where some of the people that work at the other hospitals, like I don't even know if I can name some of these names hospitals.
Okay.
But anyway, because the other ones mainly deal with kids, so you know who that is. The cancer and so they deal with them. But there was a lot of those doctors. A lot of doctors get together and like, okay, if and but maybe try this, try that, and they were just like, it was like a unified front. Okay, we'll try this, try that, and now, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this, try that. But they put me on, how the doctor said to your side, like, look, off the record, holistically, just try it. And I like, well, I've been changing my diet because, dealing with this also, with that gout, and that gout ain't no joke.
Woo.
So I was doing teas, soursop, all these teas.
Could you feel a
herbs.
difference?
Oh, it's a big difference. You know, everybody go out there and buy Viagra and all that, man. They drink them teas.
I tried the pills. I ain't got to my liquid form yet.
So, you know.
Soursop.
Yeah, I try, you know, we got all of the soursop, Sidulate. Ooh, man, they call them bitters. The bitters.
Yep.
And, you know, it works. It works for me. And then I do activated charcoal also. And, you know, to get some of the toxins out and try to get some of this plastic out of our body. Because everything we almost eat and drink come in plastic.
Yeah.
Styrofoam and stuff. So, you know. Yeah, so
you really didn't start hearing about stuff like that until like now.
After COVID.
Yeah,
after COVID,
we didn't know about all the stuff. I mean, you see it on the back of nutritional facts and labels on stuff, but I think when COVID came, TikTok came, it changed the game. It has been putting hospitals and lawyers out of business.
Nah, they still making money. You don't believe
Yeah,
that.
they are, but
because the hospital, all they gonna do is pull what you taking, and then they gonna just buy the small company up. That's all they do.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about your treatment plan. What you're about to start. Today is what, January 18th.
Yeah.
So tell them when you start the treatment and
get there. Matter of fact, next Sunday, get to Nashville. Start check in. Make sure everything peaches and cream. Then go back first thing Monday morning. Blood work. See the pulmonologist. Got to do the breathing stuff. Inhale, exhale, and all that stuff. Do all that.
Okay.
It's like taking a dang T-dot for a truck driver type test. Lift this, go over here, lift that, go over there, go up the stairs, up, down, up, down, up, down. Check and breathe. Do all that for the pulmonologist and cardiologist.
Okay.
Then after that, the next day, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, I do the actual bone marrow, not bone marrow, but the biopsy.
Okay.
So they're gonna, like I say, go on the hip, do that. Then after that, oh yeah, I forgot. Gotta do a COVID test this upcoming Friday. Do a COVID test when I get there. And everybody I be around, gotta do a COVID test. Then they're gonna test for COVID, basically everything under the sun to make sure I can't even have a gout flare up. Cause if I have a gout flare up, that's why I'm trying to watch what I'm eating right now. Because if I get there, they gonna do uric acid level, and if it's too high, that's gonna postpone it. And that's, it ain't gonna postpone. They're gonna try to, let's see if we can get it straight within 4 or 5 days. Cause they gotta have it straight before they give me chemo, which is gonna be that was February or something. Then and once everything's straight, they're gonna do the chemo. Then I stay in the hospital for 2 weeks with the chemo. I gotta stay in the hospital. Bone marrow transplant. Stay in the hospital for a week after that. And actually, day 2 or 3, they'll check my blood and see if it's kicking in, and then cause basically all they doing is taking somebody else's bone marrow, make sure it's straight and filtering it, then putting it in me. It's something like dialysis, the way they explained it to me. So something like dialysis. I'm like, okay, I know what y'all doing. And so far so good. Y'all been good to me, so I don't trust their word. And good Lord, always. So they do it like that. And then after that, just gonna see if it take. But I gotta stay near them for 100 days with no problems.
Okay.
With no problems. And the only time I really got worried, we have a family friend and their daughter had something similar to what I had, dealing with St. Jude. She had the bone marrow transplant, but by her being younger, her body accepted it, but it started rejecting it in her left or right hip, and she didn't make it. So they kind of had me worried and stuff like that, because I'm like, they had already told me, like, by you being older, your body is not going to regenerate your same cells, but it's mainly going to take the ones that you get from somebody else. Unlike with a younger child, That's where the majority of their problems come in if it's not a perfect match. And come to find out, she had a 9 out of 10. I got two donors now, 2 10s out of 10, and then a 9 out of 10 for a backup. So I'm like, thank you.
This is gonna be 3.5 months of this treatment you're doing.
Yes.
So my
Well, actually, it might be more than that according to how my body at. But like I said, we're gonna claim it in the name of Jesus. 100 days, I'll be back home.
Okay. Yeah.
After the transplant, it's 100 days after the transplant.
My thing is worried about how your body going. I feel like you gonna make it. Is everything gonna go right? But I just don't want to see you looking sick.
They already told me don't overdo everything. How your uncle do. I got to get this done. I don't care how many sundowns, 8-hour days or 48-hour day. They already told me don't come there trying to do everything and still act yourself. Just they told me relax. Cause I got to the point to where I couldn't exercise like I wanted to. All the heavy weights. They say I said, well, I got the, the senior citizens package. I do the 1 and 5 pound weights and stuff like that. I can still do the, up to your own weight and bench press and stuff like that. Only your own weight, nothing over. I'm like, okay, all right. Okay. And then they gonna change it down like you can't do over 150.
Okay. Where is this gonna be located at again? Where you getting this done?
Nashville.
Yeah,
the Vanderbilt and the VA, they right there beside each other, and they're gonna take care of it. Actually, I forgot the doctor's name. He one of the top doctors on this. He the second top or the third top doctor this side of the Mississippi.
Okay.
East side of the Mississippi, so I'm cool.
It's just me having somebody just over my body and my health. I'd be like, ain't nobody going.
As long as I've been here and I'm still here, and I got a lot of other folks that ain't even here, family members and friends. Hey, stroke, heart attack, cancer, AIDS, leukemia, lupus, they gone.
You have family that died of AIDS and all that?
Yep. And and I was younger, I was way younger dealing with, that family member. Well, actually, we had 4 family members.
Oh.
Dealing with that.
Well, there was an epidemic then like it was with COVID.
Yeah. It was back then, when everybody was doing heroin and crack and stuff, and this, but those family members, I learned a lot, dealing
really young and
dealing with
being
a lot of stuff, cause one of my cousins had he actually had, I think he was one of the trial ones that had did the medicine that they got now.
Okay.
And he was one of the test guys. He lived, oh my God, 17, 18 years behind it.
He dead now.
Mm-hmm. He lived a good 20 years behind it with the stuff they got now.
When he died?
What year was that? That was 98, 97.
Was it complications or something else?
No, he drunk it. He
Okay.
kept drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, and then because he was drinking, and it was like he was like a functioning alcoholic.
Oh yeah.
And he, eventually just like, his liver say, man, look, hey, you've been doing good. You weren't supposed to be drinking, but you know how people develop that and they just gotta live that way out there. You take it from them, they just die instantly like that. But he did pretty good. I can give him that.
Yeah. Is there anything you want your family and friends to know before you start? Because we're going to have all this on footage.
Well, me, I'm still going to be the same me. I already know it's going to be all right, peaches and cream.
Yeah.
If not, I done faced that a long time ago. I done made my peace, and that's why I'm like, because your uncle done change. You like cussing folks out. Knock folks 8 days of Sunday. I didn't, hey, like, look, I ain't got time for that. I'm trying to work on making sure these younger 2 of mine be straight with actually all 4 of my kids be actually, because, no matter what, that's one thing I can't take from my family members. You know what I'm saying? They didn't run from their responsibility. Even when the kids were doing wrong, nieces, nephews doing wrong, even when the aunties, uncles, grandma, everybody was doing wrong. You got to understand, you're supposed to learn from everybody else's mistakes. And I just wish a lot of people, like, look, if you're wrong, you're wrong. Admit that you're wrong, apologize, and keep kicking. Because when it's all said and done, if somebody touch you or me, we both won't be there for each other. So why even, that unnecessary drama,
Okay. Is there anything the wife want to say to the people before starting? She's on her way, y'all. So I love the fact that we getting all this before, so we already have it. So I'll be posting this soon. A few more days. We'll see. Okay. So she doesn't want to say anything right now.
if you have questions for me, I have no problem.
If you want to tell the people, if you want to
I
explain.
want to know one thing. If I kick the bucket, though, what you gonna do with my money?
I just want to, if you got something to say to him before start, is anything you want to tell him, or is there anything you want the people to know?
Well,
I know she
this
loves
is gonna be, I love him. Yeah, I wouldn't be here if I didn't love him.
Right.
This is gonna be a long journey. We'll be in Nashville from next Sunday for 4 months. So I'm gonna be posting on TikTok, Instagram journeys.
Yeah,
We're gonna have
clips.
day-to-day journeys. We're gonna have little clips. So if you're interested in watching, my name on TikTok is My Mama's Baby, but I am gonna be posting daily clips about this journey from now until we come home.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say? We close up?
Oh yeah, when I get through this journey, we as a family need to sit down, get together, because all we got is us, and we depend on each other. And my whole thing is this: I don't want nothing to come between none of my family.
Mm-hmm.
That include blood and marriage. We gonna sit down, get together. I got several instances where we can sit down and unify, put our money together, and have some together, and stop worrying about this individualism. We're going to sit down, get together, and we're going to build something together. Mm-hmm. Because dealing with the experience that I went through with my father and other family members, like, trying to wait on Medicaid, Medicare, and they want to take the house. I want somewhere where my family can come and you got family taking care of you and getting paid to take care of you. Have our own old folks home. Basically have my own community, doctors, lawyers, everything, the whole 9 yards. Not mine. Let me rephrase it. Our, because there's no I in team. So we unify, put our money together, and y'all know how I am. I put it on paper, I put it on contract, and we're going to make the best of it.
Okay.
And that's the best thing I want to do for my family, especially after this. So we need to get together, especially when I come back. It's going to be, hey, assholes and elbows. We're going to make it happen, Captain.
All right. That's a wrap, y'all.
All right.